option is in there. And essentially, it's just warping, like pushing the pixels right around from a target to a destination. What SplineWarp does with the pin tool, in this case, is I click, I get 2 points, pin 1 and pin 2, and you can see they're directly connected to each other. There's the A channel here. And what I can do is I can move 1, and you can see now it's just basically moved that up. So we go from here to here, it's moved everything up. And you're like, well, that's nice, Andrew, but now I've moved the entire plate. I'm stretching his jacket. This is looking not so great. So this is where boundaries become really important, and setting boundaries, just like in any relationship. You can do that with your SplineWarp node. So use the Bezier tool just like you would do with a roto. I'm going to just use an ellipse here, draw it around, maybe say this section. And you can see I've got one ellipse here. And you've got 2 choices over here. If you hover your mouse, you'll see there is this one. Well, it's not showing for me, but hard boundary, well, it just says curves. Well, I'm just going to show you. So if you click on this one, notice it turns it white and everything kind of shifted a little bit. And if we look before and after, now you can see it's just shifting based on that. And technically I could also feather this if I wanted, if it was too kind of aggressive there, but you can see now we're just moving that guy. And one interesting thing is I can, move this however I want. I could still change it. You've also got this root warp here, which I can do here as a kind of like a control slider rather than moving it. But note that this is going to apply to everything. So if you've got multiple things, then they're all kind of stuck to that. If you are doing warping, I do recommend maybe try to limit the amount of warps in one node, just because they can sometimes crash or get weird. I have an old habit of just like as I'm working, if it's doing well, I just copy and paste an extra one here just in case that one breaks and I need to use that one. Maybe the current Nuke is better at that, but that's my old habit, just in case. So that's what we can do with this one, or we can click, let's turn it off, click this one, which you can see the color is different. And if we kind of compare before and after, it's kind of like it's supposed to be a soft boundary. So it's still moving it and kind of everything around it, but not as much as it was without, see? So generally, I'm using the hard boundary more often just because I want that control. And if I needed to, I can, make things a little more natural by spreading it out. But just be very careful, right? Because you don't want like stuff in the background getting stretched in weird ways and stuff. And this will change, right, based on how it moves. And so because this is just like a roto, generally what you'll be doing is if you have a track, you would apply the track to the root layer here. So you've got a